Okay, so today I'm going to be reviewing one of probably the most insane supercars, well not supercar, but super sedans that you could buy for under 70 grand. And this car is powered by a 3.0 liter V6. That's the only hint. And so now I'm going to reveal it. This is what it is. The 2022 BMW M3. This is the base version, but there is the Competition and Competition X Drive. And so, now that I've told you this, let's get into the specs. This car is powered by a 3.0 liter twin-turbo straight six that creates 473 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. And all that goes through its 6-speed manual transmission via the rear wheels to help this car get to a 0 to 60 in only 3.8 seconds. Well tested, it's probably around 3.6, but still, this thing is a complete rocket ship in its own respects. This also helps this car get to a top speed of an electronically limited 155 miles an hour, and on to 180 miles an hour if you put the M Drivers package, which I believe is like a $10,000 option. But yeah, so now that I told you that, let's talk a little bit about also the depreciation and appreciation of this car. So, in the next about 5 to 10 years, this car will depreciate probably about 7 to 10% of its value. But since this car is in, and if you guys didn't notice, Isle of Green Metallic, which is actually a $4,500 option, then this might even stop the curve of depreciation. So it might actually hold its value a little better than normal BMWs in something like Alpino white and other colors like that. But this one is pretty nicely spec'd, and the depreciation curve will be about, so 60 maybe to $65,000. Mercedes of Waco, Texas, and huge thanks to them for letting me review this beautiful car. And yeah, this is and it'll most likely drop to $60,000 to $65,000 in the long run. But since it's in this color, and also because this is just such a cool car and it's loved by so many people, this actually has a pretty good chance of slowly gaining value, and stuff like the competition version might even go all the way up to $110,000. But that's if you wait for the next 15 years. So, if you guys can afford one of these and think it's a good investment, you might want to buy this. But yeah, so now that I've told you that, I think let's get into the design features of this car. Oh yeah, also I want to say one more thing. This also has miles per gallon of 16 on the highway, 16 in the city, and 22 on the highway. So that's practically about, 19 miles per gallon, just regular driving. But yeah, so now let's get into the design features. First thing I want to show y'all is this front. And really, I'm pretty excited to review this car because I've seen some reviews on it, and this thing has some brutal acceleration, and we're actually going to show that later in the video. But let's get on. One of the most famous things about the BMWs is their kidney grills, which has actually been prominent since, I believe, the 1957. It was a roadster type BMW, and that was actually the first one that started this trend. Ever since you have this, you got your nice little BMW M3 lettering, these little air intakes with this neat little design. You have your sensors equally on both sides, and actually the front of this car, I like how everything is equal. So if you just put it in half, everything's pretty much equal, and it just looks really nice. You got your Isle of Green Metallic, which I really love, probably one of my favorite paint colors. Your nice little air intakes right here. You can see the radiators right there. Some more air intakes that go to that monstrosity of an engine. Then you have this nice little lip, but the funny part is it only is on this side of the car. Interestingly enough, it's only on the side. You got your nice headlights with your daytime running lights down here, and then your nighttime lights, and then these are more like your fog lights right here. And actually, for those looking at this review, the only difference really in the front between the 2025 version and this is actually that in 2025 right now you actually have these like kind of strips right here, and it looks a little more updated. But other than that, the front is pretty much the same. You got these little air intakes which actually work. As you can see, I can pretty much like fit my hand all the way through there. Can't really get the camera in there, but all that's a nice air intake. You get to these beautiful Pirelli P0 tires and these really nice rims. This actually reminds me kind of like of the Aston Martin Vantage in like DBS 707, and they look really nice. Little M logo right there, BMW logo right here. And yeah, overall the front of this car, it looks really nice. I think the proportions are really nice, but this brings a lot of air into the engine, but it does look a little funny just because how big it is. But it's also really aggressive. You got this little like air outtake type of design right here. Maybe they're for aerodynamics. They look more for show. A piece right here that's kind of like indented in, definitely for aerodynamics right there, which is pretty nice. If you come to the side, you have your nice little M3 logo right there, and then these little air outtakes that actually, surprisingly, even though they don't look like it, they actually work and bring air out of this engine bay, which is nice. You got your really prominent BMW M wing mirrors with these pieces like sticking out right here. They're like square. Have this little piece right here like on Mercedes and stuff like that. And yeah, overall, I feel like the side of this car, it looks just so aggressive and cool. Like, really, this is probably one of my favorite performance sedans, but besides stuff like maybe the Panamera and stuff like that. But yeah, I got this nice sloping roof line and a carbon fiber roof. I don't know if you guys could tell, but that is a completely carbon fiber roof right there, which is also really nice. Nice little door handles right here. You got this type of square and rounded design all together, which is also really nice. Your fuel filling cap. And if you actually look from the back, let me zoom in there. These pieces of carbon are actually like sticking up, and I believe it's so that it kind of flows the air down here and straight to like the highest part of this wing to create as much downforce as possible. Also, it looks pretty neat. You got this little metal rear spoiler right here, which looks great. The rear lights, they're like kind of stretching from right here all the way to the side. And it's actually kind of nice because then if you're like right here, stopped right here in like traffic, then you could actually see which way they're turning, which is pretty nice. Your rear backup, what is it called? Backup lights. Your reflector mirrors right there. You got the sensors. It's nice little like, I don't know, diffuser piece. It comes all the way over here and then blends in seamlessly with this nice diffuser. Massive exhaust pipes, which just look so menacing and cool. And yeah, also, I forgot to show one thing, was this massive side like airlets, I guess you could call them. And they look nice, all wide. You have a really like nice like haunches right here, and you actually can't really tell, but if you come right here, you have some pretty big haunches on the side of this car. It is super duper aggressive. And then you just pop this open, and you got a not too bad amount of space actually. You have some storage on this side and that side, and it goes pretty good in there. I'm not sure how many cubic feet it is, but I think it's a surprisingly good amount of storage space for a car that could go to 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. Well, probably like 3.5. But yeah, you can see the rear seats right there. Some like army print color type of metal. You have a little light right here. And yeah, the trunk, it's nice and pretty good sized. And so, yeah, I think we did pretty much all of the outside. And I just wanted to show y'all one more thing before you hop inside. It's these brake calipers. The front ones are pretty flipping massive. You have your M logo right there. They're all blue, which is really nice. But when you come to the back, this thing's rear-wheel drive. I really could have wished for larger brake calipers. It's like the size, maybe like this big. And I feel like BMW could have put a little bigger brake calipers just because this thing is so like insanely fast. You want to have some good brakes. So now let's hop in. Okay, now we're in here, and these seats for performance bucket seats are not the carbon ones, but the plastic backed. They're actually surprisingly comfortable. They hold you in pretty well, and then you have these like pieces right here. So if you're taller, you got this nice little M logo right here. But yeah, you have these nice M seats. This actually, it seems to go up, but I can't find the switch for it to go up. Yeah, I guess it doesn't. But you got these beautiful M seats right here, which are really comfortable for a car that could go so fast. Your 6-speed manual transmission, and I think manuals are some of my favorite transmissions. You got your USB-D, I believe it's called, charging ports right there. Some good-sized cup holders that have these like, it almost look like rotors. You got this little area right here that you could actually close it up if you want a more like clean type of look, but then you just press that down and it pops back up. You could look through here and press on stuff with this, which is nice. So, now you can't do the same as Mercedes, but you can see my destinations, where you are, but you have to use your finger to get to the home. So yeah, you have this nice little area, communication, connect new device. It's saying what day it is and everything like that. You can look at my car. Let's see. If you go to car, I guess you cannot look at the car. You could press these buttons and then see how energy flow is. Sport displays, so it's showing actually what your G's are. That's actually kind of nice if we're going to be driving. Nice to see like the amount of gigs it produces. And yeah, you have this as well, value since, so you could see your miles per gallon. This is averaging 16.3 miles per gallon, which isn't horrible. I could have wanted a little better. But personal assistant, everything like that, weather, and lap timer, which is nice. So you could actually see how fast you are around a track. But yeah, you have your phone, your media, your music, everything like that. So really, this is a really simple screen. It feels a little outdated compared to some cars I've reviewed. But yeah, you got this nice trim right here, like titanium looking trim. More like, this is ambient lighting right here. You got some more titanium type of trim, Herman and Cardin speakers, and then some nice door handles. You got some storage space right here for cups, and then, I don't know, for a snack, like a bag of chips or something like that. And yeah, the door, it's pretty good sized. You got more speakers, and then yeah, center speaker, which is also pretty nice. And overall, I feel like this middle area, it's actually pretty simple. Your storage space isn't too bad. You got a good amount of storage space with your USB-C charging port right there. And yeah, you also have a screen here. So actually, when you're revving this car, if you zoom in right here, when you're revving it up, it actually goes up, which is cool. A nice M Sport steering wheel, and then everything like that. Like I was saying, you got your nice M Sport steering wheel. You actually have M1 and M2 right there, which actually you could hold it down and it puts it, I guess, like into sport modes. This thing, like I was showing you, it actually revs on this side, and it could rev all the way up to 7,500 RPM, like I'll show you right now. Saw that, this thing is a pretty crazy beast. You got all your buttons here. I'm not personally a huge fan of all the buttons, but it's actually not bad because you can't just like touch them and not even like press them down and then they'll activate. You got your M logo right there, a little like split in between here, maybe to try to save weight. But yeah, you got these really cool looking lights, which have all this like extra glass right here that doesn't even light up, funnily enough. Your SOS, your little ambient lighting here, which looks nice. And yeah, actually, okay, so this turns on if you press this middle button. So you also got your frameless little mirror right there. Your sun blocks right here, which open just like Mercedes and like Bentley and stuff like that. And yeah, so I think I've showed just this storage space, good amount of storage. You got this nice little book right here. And so yeah, I think I've showed all of this, the first front seats. Now let's hop into the back. Okay, so now we're in the second row of the BMW M3. So first let's test these seatbelts. This car is 2 years old. These are actually some of the best seat belts I've ever tested. Maybe only compared to Porsche. But these are so nice. They work like brand new. And these seats are surprisingly comfortable as well for a car so powerful and like just performance-y. You got this little like stuff right here as well. It's foam so you could like rest on, so it pretty much like makes the seats even bigger. You got a pretty good sized window here, and then a little window that doesn't roll down. Your ambient lighting right here, and then your window switches, some more storage here, and then some speakers, and then just a piece of little trim. But yeah, you got two storage places right here, one for like a bottle, and then one for, I don't know, whatever else you'd want. There's actually ambient lighting inside of there as well, which is neat. Especially for like a water bottle, it'll make it glow. You got your conditioners, right, of your air blowers, USB-C charging ports right there, and then you could control how cool or hot the air is. And then you actually do not, this thing comes down to the trunk, but you do not have a piece that like folds out like this, maybe for lightweightness, maybe also because the middle row will be a little more comfortable, and it actually is. Now you got a nice little headrest right here. I could have wished for, though, more feet room, just because I'm like this, literally. If you would have just been able to lower this down here, that would have been so much better. Maybe put like right here, indent, so that I could just put my feet there. But you have some not too great foot room right here. You can see the back of this, so it's almost like comfortable type of leather material back here, which is actually nice. You got, and yeah, so this seat is actually surprisingly good, except for this. These seats, just in a normal seating position, I have a relatively good amount of space. I think a grown-up would be able to fit here and still be pretty comfortable. And yeah, so also you have this little reading lights here. You could turn both of them on, or just turn one at a time. You have a little ambient lighting there as well, and some grab handles. And so yeah, let's hop out and near the end of our video. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. Remember to share, like, and subscribe to Xaaron Reviews, and I'll see y'all next time. And also check out my X account with the link below. And so, I'll see y'all later.